Good morning, everybody. As I come to you this morning, we're going to be doing another episode of What's in the Box, and today I've got something for you that's a little different. I've never reviewed this subject before. Moreover, this is my first look at a Takom kit. I've never had one in the past. And I think the jury's kind of still out on Takom. I know Norm in his Mexis build had some issues. Some people seem to have some issues here and there with Takom, so they appear to have good moldings. The detail seems to be really good, but I can't attest to the fit because I've never built one. But they do appear to be coming on pretty strong. They've got a pretty varied subject matter in their lineup. I don't believe they build any aircraft. I think it's strictly armor or vehicles that are all, of course, military-based. But what I have a look at for you today is a brand new kit, just released, the 135th scale Skoda 30.5 centimeter M1916 Siege Howitzer. And as with many things from this time period, this would denote the year that it was introduced, 1916. It was originally developed from the First World War, but the kit depicts a gun that was part of the Siege of Sevastopol in, I believe, 1941. And guys, this is a cool little kit. I had pre-ordered this some time ago, and I just got it actually Wednesday afternoon, Christmas Eve day, and I was just really excited about it. Showed it to Carlos briefly, and our very own Hamilcar Barkas expressed an interest in getting to take a look at a closer look at this kit. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. It's a small box, as you can see. It's got some pretty cool box art with some old black and white photographs of some artillery crew, World War II era, I might add, because you can recognize the M1943 helmet there in the background, or maybe a 1938 helmet. Box art on the side, showing a Dunkelgelb pattern. Pictures of the Sprues, which is kind of different on the side. And then, of course, some advertisements for some of their other kits. So, let's go ahead and open it. Now, one of the things I thought that was weird about this kit when I first took a look at it is the box is really, really tight. Really doesn't want to come off. There we go. And inside this small box, we've got a package containing 1, 2, and 3 sprues with a simple instruction booklet and painting and marking guide, which we'll be getting to shortly. But let's go ahead and take a look at the plastic. What do we have? Now, this is in no certain order. First thing I would like to note is the plastic these sprues are in. This is not your ordinary model kit. This is a much heavier, thicker, of course you can hear it, crinkly type plastic that you don't typically see. I'm not complaining. It's kind of cool. I don't understand the difference, but I guess every manufacturer tries to differentiate their product in some way. But let's take a look at this thing. So here we have pieces of the gun mount, the elevation mechanism, adjustment wheels of types. I will tell you this: just the cursory examination of these parts and these sprues, the detail is, I mean, it's wonderful. It's as good as anything I've seen from any of the new Tamiya kits, or for that matter, Mang. The bolting and the riveting detail is as good as any I've seen. And the fact that it's a crossover subject, kind of World War I and World War II, I think makes it pretty intriguing. Let me zoom in a bit, and you guys can get a closer look at some of the detail. Here's some of the riveting parts that I had described. You'll see the molding is completely crisp. There's no flash anywhere on these parts that I have seen. Turn it over on the other side. There are some ejector pin marks here. These are recessed, so they wouldn't need to be filled with putty. Although I'm not sure it's going to be visible when you put this whole thing together, so you may not have to worry about that at all. But the detail, I think, is as nice as it gets. So let's put that aside. Open up the next sprue. Now the next sprue has gun breech, wheels, and ammunition. This is going to be pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and open this up for you, and we'll take a closer look. Zoom that back out just a bit. So here is the breech assembly, and this thing is massive. Remember, this is a 1/35th scale artillery piece. Now, there are two types of ammunition. There was an armor-piercing, bunker-busting round, and then there was a typical impact high-explosive shell. I think it said it weighed 347 kilograms. That's a lot of explosive. And I did a Wikipedia search and said it had a 400-meter kill radius for infantry that were exposed or did not have armor protection. That's a pretty big blast frag radius. But just as with the other sprue, the detail continues. It's superb. I don't know really anything about the weapon, but the rivet detail, the bolting detail on this, the molding is all super, super crisp. It is a bit disappointing that the ammunition is in two halves. You're going to have to remove the seam. I guess, that's not a big deal. Any modeler worth his salt, of course, can handle that. And there is my first view of flash. Very minor. Come off with the swipe of your knife or your scalpel blade. I moved the camera a bit too much, I'm sorry. But there's a bit of flash right there, just along the edge of the base of that projectile. Like I said, though, not a big deal. I think that would come right off with your scalpel blade or your knife, your modeling knife. All right, so there's that sprue. Now, this last bag, one of the cool things with this kit is it actually comes with the casemate. Comes with the base for the weapon, which is really cool. So there aren't a lot of pieces on the sprue. This is the last sprue of the kit. So you'll notice the metal parts for the casemate. This builds the casemate. And here is the barrel. Now you'll notice they did the barrel there. It's in multiple pieces, but there's no halves. And I think they interjoined together in a kind of a conical shape. And I don't think there's going to be a seam that you have to remove, but I could be mistaken. These are perhaps tow hooks or supports of some kind. But once again, guys, the detail here is really good. Also, too, I would like to point out, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. This is one of the cool parts. Again, this is, of course, a massive gun. Check out the rifling detail in the muzzle. And that's plastic, not metal. That's really cool. I really like that. There's the detail on some of the other parts. This all makes up the casemate that I mentioned. You guys can see that. Really nicely done. And that's it. I mean, that's all there is to the sprues. Really not a whole lot there. Now, let's take a quick look at the instruction sheet. They do include some polycaps, so I guess some of this stuff is at least going to move. There's two small polycaps here. There is a painting and marking sheet here that actually allows you to depict 3 versions of the gun. And the first one is Unit Unknown, Zweibrücken, Germany, April 1945. Dunkelgelb pattern. Now, this is kind of cool. They're apparently doing a collaboration with MiG because this has the MiG logo on it. They're suggesting MiG colors for the build, which is pretty interesting. I don't have any problems with that. I have quite a few of his paints. Now, the other options here are a Panzergrau or Dunkelgrau scheme, Schwere Artillerie Abteilung 624th, Siege of Sevastopol 1942. Okay, so that was 42, not 41. And the last one down here in the bottom is this Hungarian artillery group, and it's a green color, which is kind of interesting. Just an olive green, RAL 6003. So there's actually 3 schemes, and there are no decals. Not a single decal in the entire kit. And here's the instruction sheet. It is a stapled booklet style, very much like Mang. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So it begins with applying decals, although, of course, there are none. It does not have any photo etch. It does, however, have a really nice looking sprue map. And here we begin assembly of the barrel. Now let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see this just a bit better. So you can see how the barrel builds up in these three pieces, kind of in a conical pattern that I mentioned. I don't think there's going to be any issue with seams. Here's the gun breech assembly. So there's 3 steps on the first page, and there aren't very many parts. This looks relatively simple. I would love to start building this kit right now, but I've got this Great Wall hobby project that I've got going. Here, recoil cylinders get attached to the assembled gun and breech. As you move on into step 7, you have the gun mount and support, and then, of course, the casemate, 6 and 8. Elevating mechanisms, the traverse mechanism, all part of the assembly. The instructions are clear, and I think you would agree, concise as well. And then here you are assembling the mount and the gun together on the casemate. And there we have, there's a little wheeled tractor or wagon, so to speak, that allows them to transport the ammunition to and from the gun. It would be cool if they made a nice figure set to accompany this that had a crew for that. That's pretty cool. Of course, here you can see the assembly of the 2 halves. If the fit's good, I don't think removing that seam will be a problem at all. And let's see. Last page shows the assembled model with the casemate, then the little wagon for moving these gigantic, extremely heavy projectiles. The projectile itself, of course, this gun would had to have a separate powder charge, and I'm not sure what this box is for. If it's perhaps fuses or primers, I'm not sure what would house the box. But 18 steps, doesn't look difficult at all. Once again, the instructions are concise. Yeah, there are some parts here where they're saying no glue, so some of this stuff is going to move, which would be really cool. I would love to build this kit. This thing just looks awesome. But that's it, guys. That's basically it. It was just going to be a short review because it was a really basic kit. But I think you should check it out. If this is not an expensive model, this was available on hobby luckymodel.com, which is one of the more prestigious Chinese Hong Kong eBay dealer, or not eBay, but hobby dealers. It was $30.99. I actually bought this from Michigan Toy Company. I pre-ordered it. It's gone up a little bit, but I think I paid $26 for it. But I looked on eBay. I think you can get this for $25 to $30 US, which is not bad, and you probably pay $8 to $10 to ship it. So it's not a crazy expensive kit. But guys, if you're looking for something different to build, you like artillery, and this is a massive gun, yeah, this is pretty cool. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, my first Takom kit, I want to dig into this thing pretty soon, actually. I may try to squeeze it in sooner rather than later. But thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. Take care, and bye-bye.